Ladies and gentlemen, don't do anything else right now because the numbers I'm about to show you will blow your mind. The biggest shift of wealth in human history is about to happen, and most people still don't know about it. There are going to be big changes in how money is moved, kept, and traded, especially when it comes to cross-border payments. That's the same as saying Amazon only sold books. This is the valuable internet, not the bad one. You'll never look at money the same way again after you know what that means. This is not advice about money. Let's get started because the people who really understand this now will be the future kings and queens of business. This is because they will hear the facts, not guesses. Check out the XRP rich list. Take a look at the wallets. Only a small part of the world's 8 billion people actually hold XRP, and most of those wallets are just empty space on platforms. There are millions of wallets with less than 20 XRP in each one, which is less than $20 at the moment. Even the next group, which has up to 500 XRP, only has a few $100s on average. Do you see where this is going? Most people aren't even close to being wealthy enough to change their lives. The numbers back it up, which is why this is such a rare event. You're not just early if you have a serious role. You're a member of a private club that can't be copied later using math. Not everyone will be able to get in when XRP goes off. It doesn't work that way in math. Just like only a few people who bought Bitcoin for less than $1 became billionaires, those who hold XRP right now have the financial equal of a lottery ticket, backed by use, adoption, and global integration. In order to move forward, I need to let you know about something you must not miss if you want to take your spending to the next level. How to become a millionaire investor. Find 100x stocks. I'm talking about full breakdowns, documents, pictures, videos, strategies, and the whole plan for finding the next big chances before anyone else. That's why it's stuck in the comments below this movie. You shouldn't wait because chances like this don't last long. The cherry on top. With a $100 deposit through my Moomoo link, you can get free NVDA stocks worth up to $1,000. That's crazy! You would be crazy not to take advantage of the free money while it's still there. Let's look at the numbers again. When you see how they really break down, you'll understand why this is the rarest family wealth setup in history. More than 5.6 million wallets in those lower brackets don't even come close to the amount of money that wallets in the top brackets have. This is where the real change in view happens. Money bags are not people. A person can have more than one pocket. If someone has 50,000 XRP, they might divide it among 5 banks, with each one being counted separately. If you look at the map, you can see that a lot fewer people actually hold significant amounts of XRP than the data shows. So when people say they won't let us all get rich, they completely miss the point. The math already shows that some people won't, because there are so many people in the world, only a very small number hold jobs worth more than a few $100s. It will be much more in demand than what is available once utility fully kicks in. When Ripple's liquidity lanes are firing on all cylinders and institutions flip the switch, that's when the price goes up straight. Here are some real-world numbers to help you understand what this means. At the current price, it costs about $1,400 to hold just 500 XRP. That's it. That's how much a normal laptop costs. If that situation is valued correctly in the future, it could put you in a wealth range that most people only dream of. With 10,000, 25,000, or 50,000 XRP, those are the amounts that will really make people whales in the next banking system. They set up when no one was looking, not because they were allowed to, but because they were smart. Let's talk about what 100 XRP means, because the numbers make it impossible not only to happen, but also to not happen at all. With the need for global liquidity, the need to settle trillions of dollars in real time, and the fact that central banks, financial institutions, and multinational companies are all using Ripple's ODL, the math clearly backs it up. You haven't seen anything yet if you think $100 is crazy. If you remember when Bitcoin was worth $1, $10, or $100, you laughed at it. Now look at it now. History is not all rhymes. It shouts the same lesson over and over. The relationships that Ripple has made over the last 10 years show that the future is already being planned. MasterCard, Bank of America, Santander, and SBI are among the central banks that are using Ripple to test digital currencies. These stories are true. These are things that can be proven. Today is the day that the financial infrastructure of tomorrow is being built, and XRP is at the center of that plan. This is a different point of view that will blow your mind. If you had put in $5,000 back when Bitcoin was worth 95 cents, you would have gotten about 5,263 Bitcoin. Now let's look ahead. If you sold those for $125,000 each, that would be over $657 million, or $500 million from $5,000. That's what happens when you act on something early. That's exactly what we have going on with XRP right now, but this time the use case is bigger. It's a bigger market. Things that need to be fixed are bigger. What we're talking about is the very core of money. Also, remember that people laughed back then. They said that the web was just a trend. They thought email was silly. They said that no one would ever use a credit card to buy something online. The doubters sound the same every time. The people who believed early and moved on their convictions, on the other hand, became the Amazons, Googles, and other trillion-dollar companies. It's the same now with XRP. The critics yell, and the news stories spread fear, but the builders keep going. The relationships keep adding up, and the system keeps moving toward what will happen anyway. A lot of noise is distracting most people, but for those who are paying attention, the signal is very clear. It's not about hype with XRP. It has to do with use. It has to do with fixing trillion-dollar waste. This is about making sure that there is fast settlement in a world where trillions of dollars move across borders every day. That's not a niche. That's what holds world finance together. You're sitting here early enough to get a good spot before most people wake up. Take that in. There are billions of people in the world and millions of XRP wallets, but only a small number of those wallets hold real money. And when you take into account duplicates and people splitting holdings, the number of people who are truly set up for generational wealth is so small that it hardly even shows. That's the truth. Because of this chance is unlike any other you'll ever see. Once the switch is flipped and adoption is clear, there won't be time to rush. The train had already left the station by that time.